The Almond Tree by Pastor Deborah, a pastor of a marketplace church in a flea market, reaching out to the world. St. Valentine, an ancient landmark that all kings, leaders must know and follow. A day is soon approaching, February 14th, that the modern world celebrates with roses and chocolate to show some and to tell someone that they are loved. But this act of love is not the kind of love a king, a leader, must have as an ancient landmark in their spiritual heart that flows out to their soul and then out into the seen world so that others may come to see and know that ancient landmarks are not to be moved, torn down, replaced, or forgotten. Kings, leaders must know about the ancient landmark of the almond tree and Valentine. Why? For without this pillar, this heart foundation, this ancient landmark of agape love, embedded deep in the king's, the leader's spiritual heart, they cannot truly encourage, support, teach, show others the world through the eyes of agape love, which provides trust, wisdom, and strength in a world of turmoil, trouble, and change. Kings, leaders, must be able to lead others into a world they cannot see, do not know, and the strength to step into it, even at the cost of their own lives, reputation, employment, and even to be able to go against the rules made by others. Now hear about the ancient landmark that in a few days the world will celebrate. Yet few have this knowledge of the ancient truth or of the reason for the day of love. This story begins in the 3rd century with an oppressive Roman emperor and a humble Christian martyr. This Christian was named Valentinus. Emperor Claudius had ordered all Romans to worship 12 gods of Rome, and he had made it a crime punishable by death to associate with Christians. But Valentinus was dedicated to the ideals, the teachings, the worship of Christ Jesus, and not even the threat of death could keep him from worshiping Christ Jesus and practicing his beliefs in this new way to this new and living God, the great Creator, God Himself. Therefore, he was arrested and imprisoned and was awaiting his death. During the last weeks of his life, Valentinus, a remarkable thing happened. Seeing that he was a man of learning, educated, the jailer asked whether his daughter Julia might be brought to Valentinus for lessons, even to the jail itself, for she had been blind since birth. Julia was a pretty young girl with a quick mind. Valentinus read stories of Rome's history to her. He described the world of nature to her. He taught her arithmetic, told her about God. She saw the world through his eyes, trusted in his wisdom, and found comfort in his quiet strength. Valentinus, does God really hear our prayers? Julia asked one day. Yes, my child, he hears each one, Valentinus replied. Do you know what I pray for every morning and every night? I pray that I might see. I want so much to see everything you've told me about. God does what is best for us if we will only believe in him, Valentinus said. Oh, Valentinus, I do believe. Julia said intensely. I do. Julia knelt and grabbed the hand of Valentinus. Then they prayed together. Suddenly, there was a brilliant light in the prison cell, radiant. Julia cried, Valentinus, I can see, I can see. Praise be to God, Valentinus said. Then on the eve of his death, Valentinus wrote a last note to Julia, urging her to stay close to God, and he signed it, from your Valentine. His sentence, punishment for not worshiping and serving the 12 Roman gods that Emperor Claudius declared by Roman law that everyone had to be worshipped, declared to be the only gods and to be believed in, was carried out the next day, February the 14th, 270 AD, near a gate that was later named Porta Valentina in Valentinus' memory. Valentinus was buried at what is now the Church of Praxeas in Rome. Ancient records, landmarks of Agape Love say that Julia herself planted a pink-blossomed almond tree near Valentinus' grave. Today, the almond tree remains an ancient landmark, symbol of abiding agape love and friendship, taken from a Hallmark expression card. For a king, a leader, knowing ancient landmarks is vital to their kingship, their leadership. For this ancient landmark guides the spiritual heart of a king, of a leader, in his relationships with others. Are you guided by this ancient landmark, or do you follow the modern world's landmark for Valentine's Day? Does this ancient landmark, this story of the beginning of Valentine's Day, help others such as Julia was? Can others see a world they are blind to through your spiritual heart of agape love? Can your spiritual heart's wisdom be trusted by others as they are learning from you? Can others find comfort and quiet strength from your spiritual heart that has this ancient landmark embedded in it? Can others find this ancient landmark in your words, decisions, acts, management of leadership? I hope this article gives you some things to think about as February 14th is approaching. May you establish this ancient landmark in your spiritual heart as Valentinus had in his, and may you pour it out to others as Julia received, and as Julia was a recipient of Valentinus's agape love. Love always and forever, Pastor Deborah.